Something is killing the children. Number 16. Nate,
Oh yeah. Yes.
is this your pick of the week?
Well, it's the last book, right? It's got to be.
Oh, well, I thought it might be in your honorable mentions. Anyway, please cue the music.
That's Nate's pick of the week.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put my honorable mention, or I'm not gonna put my pick of the week in honorable.
I never know,
mentions.
dude. You might be that crazy. You're just like, do it, fuck it.
I'm not that crazy. So we finally get. I don't know if we can quite call it an origin. We're gonna call it an origin arc. This is the origin arc of Erica Slaughter.
Part 1.
Part uno. So this is picking up where we have seen before somewhat. We have seen that her parents get slaughtered by one of the monsters, and she's hiding out in the closet with the little that little puppet thing that she has. And what we have seen before is like she's hiding there, and something's about to open the closet, and you don't know what it is. And it turns out that it is not another monster. It is one of the members of the House of Slaughter. And she's got her mask on, and she basically has like a conversation with Erica. Like, it was like, hey, like you did really good. Like I'm sorry that what happened here, sucks and it's intense, but you did really good. And then Erica sort of has like a flashback. Which is weird because this is in itself a flashback. But she flashes back and it basically shows like the gruesome like scene where she's fighting to try to save her friend, because it's not just her parents that get killed here. Has a friend that's sleeping over as well. And as her and her friend are running from the monsters trying to get into the closet, her friend falls and starts like crawling and putting her hands forward, and Erica reaches down and grabs her hands and starts pulling her, and then all of a sudden she flies back and falls on the ground and is just holding her arm in her hand because the monster has chopped it off.
Nope. And
it's very bloody, it's very intense. And then it cuts back to the girl with Erica, or the lady with Erica, saying like, hey, like you should come with me. Like you've done things here that people with training can't do. And so we get a little bit of like not a montage, but like just like a little bit of a character development scene with them riding in the car, just having a conversation back and forth. You very much kind of, she's obviously like a little girl. Erica's a little girl, still, but like you can see her personality sort of popping up of like, that she's not going to be pushed around, and that she's kind of always in charge of a little bit of what's going on with her. And she starts talking to her about silly things, and she's like, like you're really good, at being intuitive, and you're perceptive. That's what she says multiple times. You're perceptive. And they pull up to the House of Slaughter, and they are greeted by Aaron, who we have seen before. Aaron, unfortunately, is the member from the house that first shows up besides Erica, and he sacrifices himself to let them get away. I believe that was like in issue 6 or 8, something like that. But of course, because this is in the past, he's still here. And everyone kind of is giving this lady shit, like, you can't bring her here. Like, this isn't how it works. Like, this isn't the rules. You can't do this. And in the car, she's like, hey, there's going to be a lot of assholes. Like, just don't let them bully you. And Erica points at Aaron's like, is this one of the assholes? And she's like, yeah, don't let him bully you. She's like, but can I bully him? She's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, you can. And then I don't think either of them are ever named. But another woman who's like in charge. It's the woman that is from the previous issue that is in charge of the party that kind of comes in and wraps they're about to take out everyone in the gym.
The clean crew or whatever.
Yeah, the cleaning up crew. It's that lady. She comes out and is like, you can't do this. Like, you're not allowed to bring her here. She's not initiated. She hasn't been trained. She hasn't been vetted, any of this stuff. and the lady's just like, yeah, I don't give a shit. She's here, and she's already better than half the people that are here. So like, let's go. In some ways, it's a little bit of a like obvious like, oh, she's better than everyone else. Like the sort of story, like okay, like you're better than everyone else. You started out on a higher plane, but like the parts that I really enjoy are we get some of the classic horror at the beginning of this issue that we've seen throughout the entire series. Somewhat, most of it is suggestive, but then you turn the page and you're like, oh shit, arms being cut off. And we also just get a really fun development of Erica's character. Seeing her backstory is just a lot of fun. I feel like sometimes we get into stories like this, you're like, man, I really wish like I could know about this character, like who they are, like where they came from. And it's not often that like you start getting that like 16 issues in, you're gonna say, hey, we're gonna go back and cover that. But I think this is the perfect time in the story to do that, and it works out great.
Tell me the fun fact. Let everybody else in chat know the fun fact that you told me yesterday about Tynion.
Oh, so I was going through my polls because I added Wind to my pull list, and Tynion has 6 ongoing titles right now. Like I guess one of them technically is a mini, but it's about to start, and it's a 12-issue maxi series. So he's got Batman. And he's got Joker. Then he's got Nice House on the Lake, which is about to start. All 3 of those DC titles. He's got Something is Killing the Children and Wind from Boom. And then he's got Department of Truth on Image. So that's a lot. That's a beefy workload.
He is the definition of beefy.
So I'm just going to go ahead and put it right now. You're not going to like this, but Tynion greater than Duncates.
I will agree. I will agree.
That's not a knock. That's not a knocking. It's
no, they're completely different writers. They're just different. But Tynion is DC's. Tynion is DC's Donny Cates
for sure.
He's doing a better job. Anyway, so that is Nate's.
That's Nate's pick of the week.